Alright guys, here's a quick update on the basement slash game room project that we've been working on for the last year. The last place I left you guys off at was an empty room with carpet just recently installed. So here we go, we moved a few games in. This is about half the games currently that are moved in. First up we have the Ms. Pac-Man. That was a $50 project picked up off of Craigslist that we got working. That was a learning experience, but a good one nonetheless. Next up is a Virtual Cop that I picked up for a 6-pack and a fancy bottle of beer. And this one also had a few issues with it. Turns out the buttons weren't working, but the game was playing. It actually just ended up being a low voltage issue. And after adjusting the power supply, that ended up working out. Next up is an NBA Jam that I picked up from a fellow local collector. And last but not least is the Atari Pole Position that I picked up off of Craigslist for about $75, and the same guy who helped me get this game also helped me get the NBA Jam. I did forget one that's currently down here too, which is the Space Invaders cocktail table. Over here we have a small TV area, and in the back is a guest room slash office, so if we have any guests coming by, we have a place for them to stay. This is the only room that I have wiring left to do in. This is going to have a cable and Ethernet jack in that opening down there. So over here we have a tube TV, as well as 8 of the consoles hooked up at the moment. We don't have all of them hooked up, but most of them are out. So first up is a Sega Master System, followed by a Sega Genesis, and a Sega Saturn and a Dreamcast, and a Sony PlayStation. Then on the bottom we have a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and a Nintendo 64. That Nintendo 64 was the first system I ever bought on my own. I had a paper route, and I delivered newspapers, and I saved my money for months to buy that thing. Still have all the original boxes. Clearly I felt like I knew what I was doing at 12 or so. So these are the cabinet-made cubes, I believe, and they come with only 3 backers to each cube, and they're black. So what I did is I made a backer using hardboard from Home Depot. It comes in 2x4 sheets, so you can just slice off a foot and you're good to go. I also put some holes in the back to run wires through, and that definitely helps hide the mess of wires that are behind those cubes going on. Still have to clean up some of the wiring and figure out a better way to keep everything plugged in at once. Currently I'm just using a power strip, but I think what I'll do is end up using the Belkin surge protector. I have them all connected through an 8-way selector, and this is something you can pick up off of Amazon, and that's working out pretty well so far. So speaking of that Belkin surge protector, what I did is I used the Belkin surge protector to connect those 4 cabinets in the back. Now, I was using another surge protector, and I had to crawl underneath in between NBA Jam and Virtual Cop to flip the thing on, flip all the games on. It was kind of a pain in the neck. So I got the Belkin surge protector and with remote, and what it does is it actually comes with this remote right here. You can mount this onto the wall using double-sided tape or screw it on, and it works out quite nicely actually. So all the games are off right now, and all I have to do is flip this switch here and it'll turn them all on, and it's got a little light that should turn on indicating that they're being turned on. So there they go, they've all come on, and away you go. So down here in the back is the Belkin surge protector that I'm using. It's got 6 remote switches on there, and then 2 that are always on, for a total of 8. Currently the cocktail table is on its own switch right now, but that should do it. And so far we're digging this setup, And it turns out I've got a few more games to get down here. We just have to find room and how to organize them all. I don't think that this is going to be the 100% final layout of this wall. I think pole position is going to be moved, but I think I will keep Ms. Pac-Man and Virtual Cop and NBA Jam there. I like having Ms. Pac-Man on the side because everybody recognizes that game, and she's skinny and easy to get by. Whereas Virtual Cop and NBA Jam are just a little bit too big to be on the end. But anyway, guys, that about wraps it up. We'll keep this project going slowly and see what kind of progress we make. Keep you guys updated on what I do if anything else exciting happens. But this is the room so far since the last update. Alright, guys. Also, if you have any suggestions for good shelving to put the games on, because I do want to fit at least one arcade machine on this wall, plus storage for movies and games and everything else. So if I can do that, get storage for games and an arcade machine in there, everybody will be happy. Alright, thank you very much, and I will keep you updated. Good night.